Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again. We are here tonight to do something a little bit different, a bit of a Q&A, and we are also going to include in that a best and a worst Arsenal 11 for players that have played at the club over the past 10 years. So that should be interesting. I also would like to get a few ideas from you guys as well, because you guys are the heart and the soul of the channel. Of course, you are the guys who are coming and taking time out of your day to view the content on the channel. So I want to get a few ideas from you guys. Let me know in the comment section what other content you would like to see, what improvements you think I could make to the channel in order to keep you all interested, because that is the main aim of the game, to keep you guys interested and to get you guys involved even more as well. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Also, when we move on to the Arsenal 11, the worst and the best, let me know in the comments section what your Arsenal best 11 would be and what your Arsenal worst 11 would be. It is for players that have played at the club over the past 10 years. However, there are rules to this. You have to include at least 3 of the current players that play in the squad at the moment. And that's for both of them. So you have to include 3 current players in the best 11, and you also have to include 3 in the worst 11 as well. And yeah, like I said, let me know in the comment section, guys, what you would like to see, and let me know what you guys think. If you are watching and you have not yet, please go and hit that subscribe button and smash them likes up, guys. Smash them likes up. Got plenty of other content to bring to you eventually down the line. Obviously, Arsenal playing Newcastle tomorrow in the FA Cup. We are the 14-time champions. Can we extend that and make it 15-time champions? It's early stages yet. It's only the 3rd round. We have got to get past Newcastle. Newcastle are a bit of a poor side, to be fair. They don't play great football. They had a decent result the other week against Liverpool, but they've gone back to being their normal selves. And I fully expect us to go on and win that game. No question about it. I'd like to see players like Balogun, maybe even Aziz, get an opportunity in that game to stake a claim in the first team. At the end of the day, if you're going to keep Balogun at the club, you have to give him playing time. If you're going to convince him to sign a new contract, there is no question about that. So why not? Why not chuck him in? I think what we probably will see is Bamiyang playing up front, but I don't mind that either, because we need to get this guy scoring goals. He's the main talisman in Arsenal, and without his goals, well, look at where we are. We need the guy to be scoring. So let's get straight into the Q&A. Like I said, guys, hit me up in the comments section. Ask anything you like, within reason. Yeah, within reason. Any stupid questions, obviously I'll miss them out, but ask me anything you like. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you are only just tuning in now, I'd love to get some ideas from you on how I can improve the channel, what type of content you guys would like to see, because like I said, you guys are the ones that are taking time out of your day to come and watch me. And yeah, I'd love to get some suggestions. So straight into the comments. We've got Kyle in the comments section. Big up, Kyle. How you doing, mate? He says, "You all right, lad?" Yeah, I'm not bad. not bad. Um, yeah, this whole Corona thing is not doing great for my working life at the moment, but it's not a bad thing because it gives me time to bring more content to you guys. Kyle says, "What do you think of that Gabonese fraud?" Um, I think fraud is probably a little bit far. Let's be real. He hasn't been great this season. Um, he has not been great at all. Uh, you expect better from him, no question about it. And yeah, a lot of people are questioning the fact that since he signed this contract, he has gone missing. There is no question about it. And look, for that sort of money that he's being paid, you expect a lot better. But I think fraud's a little bit too far because we got to remember at the same time, over the past 2 seasons, he has been our best player by a country mile. Without his goals last season, God knows where we'd be. We'd probably have been where we are right now, which is absolutely nowhere, languishing down in mid-table. Um, Kyle also asks, "Am I ill? Do I, do I look ill? Is that? Do I really look ill? Oh dear. I hope not. I could do with some better lighting probably. I do look a little bit pale. You're probably right there, but there you go. We've got Kyle again. Kyle. Bale who? Yeah, where is Bale? That's what I want to know because all these Tottenham fans that were giving it all, yes, Gareth Bale's coming back. Um, you know, where's he been? Where's he been? He's almost as bad as Özil, sat at home or sat on the bench, doing up bench. That's about it. Um, but in all fairness, Tottenham haven't really needed him, have they? They've done all right so far this season, and yeah, he doesn't look like the same player no more. Um, since he spent a lot of time out of the Real Madrid's side, spent a lot of time playing golf, and maybe he should take it up as a full-time job. But there you go. I've got Devin in the chat that says, yo, Devin, how you doing? Um, yeah, yeah, pretty much. Relentless. Oh God, relentless. Is that I don't know whether to say it, whether that's a silly question or not. I don't think it is though. Has Arteta changed your mind? No, no. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. For Arteta to change my mind, he has to do an absolute madness. And when I say an absolute madness, I don't mean win the league. Um, the minimum expectation for me as an Arsenal fan is top four, Champions League. That is the minimum expectation. And that should be the minimum expectation for the fan base as a whole. Because at the end of the day, we are, whether people like it or not, we are the third biggest club in England. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world. You know, we should not be languishing down in 11th place in the Premier League. We should not be having a run of form like what we did have. 8 games lost already this season. It's mad for a club the size of Arsenal. That should not be happening at all. Is there a possibility we can get in the top four? It depends what we do in this transfer window. I can't see it somehow. I know they are getting rid of a lot of the dead wood, and that's fair. It needs to be done. But at the end of the day, we also need players right now. If it was up to me, I'd go and get Emi Buendia and Bissouma because it's clear to see that our midfield needs a lot of work. And yeah, that's the area that needs addressing right now. So go and get them. They're 2 players that are not going to cost the world to go and get. They're 2 players of better quality than what we've actually got in the midfield at the moment. So Go and get them. There's no reason why we cannot go and get these players. At the end of the day, they're playing for Norwich and Brighton. Yeah. If you're playing for Norwich and Brighton, an Arsenal Football Club come in for you, there's no way you're saying no. No way. So yeah, go and get them. Go and get them. Devin says, "Is the UK still on lockdown?" Yes, we are still on lockdown here. Our mate Boris brought that in last week, and it's looking like it's going to be until the end of February at the very, very least. My personal opinion on that, it should have been done a lot sooner. They've got a lot of things wrong, the UK government, and when all of this is over, and it's all said and done and things go back to normal, they will have an awful lot to answer for because of the high death tally in this country. It's been a madness, really. And at the end of the day, they should have dealt with it a lot better, a lot sooner. But they didn't really take it very seriously to begin with. And they're only really just taking it seriously now because they've only just stopped letting people in and out of the country. You know, it's a madness. It really is a madness. And I don't like to get too political because it can get me very vexed and frustrated, especially since as I've got to be very careful, not for myself, but for my missus because she's pregnant. Um, and yeah, they're classed as high risk, especially during the late stages of pregnancy. So yeah, I have to be very, very careful. No question about it. Kyle says, "What do you think of the academy player Bofa?" I can't say I've ever heard of him personally. Oh, I see what's going on here. Oh dear, both of these nuts, yeah. Oh, well done, well done. At least you made me smile, mate. At least you made me smile. Relentless says, Mikel in the bin. Let me know how you feel about it, Relentless. You know, are you Mikel in or are you Mikel out? Or, how do you feel about the whole situation? If you are Mikel Arteta out, who would you go and get? And at the same time, what's your reasoning for Mikel Arteta out? Because I can tell you mine. I have been Mikel Arteta out ever since the Leeds game, and we didn't even lose that game, right? But I could see the cracks starting to appear from that game and that game alone. Just in the sense that um, although we played with 10 men for 45 minutes because Nicolas Pepe went and got himself sent off like an absolute fucking clown. We was outplayed by Leeds for the whole 90 minutes, man, and that's embarrassing. Arsenal Football Club should not be getting outplayed by Leeds United. And yes, Leeds United were and still are a big club to a degree, but they've just come up from the Championship. That sort of shit should not be happening. And that was where I was just like, do you know what? Enough is enough. If we're going to continue to see this, because it wasn't just the Leeds game, it was the games before that where the football was crap. We was constantly sitting 10 men behind the ball, trying to hit teams on the counter. Now and again, it would come off, especially like against teams like Manchester City and Liverpool, teams that like to attack you and can leave themselves vulnerable defensively. But I was seeing it far too often. It's all right playing that sort of style of football against the big six, but against Leeds United, Burnley, teams like that you should be going there and slapping them. It's yeah, it's not great. And his man management skills as well. Certain situations that he's dealt with, not been great, not been great at all. And I know he's a rookie manager and he's learning, but he needs to learn a lot quicker than that in the Arsenal job. It would take, like I said, it would take for him to get us into the Champions League for me to change my mind. And that all depends as well on how he gets us into the Champions League. You know, if he gets us into the Champions League because teams above us have been crap and just dropped points after points after points, and we just happen to scrape in there playing the shit football that we play, then I'll be like, nah. But if I see something a little bit different, like what we have seen over the last couple of weeks, um, against Brighton and against Chelsea and West Brom, where he's trusted a little bit in the kids. He's took out the players that are constantly letting him down week in, week out. There's still a couple of players in that first team that, you know, I wouldn't have anywhere near the squad. But at the same time, we are winning games, so you got to stick with a winning team. But if I continue to see that sort of football and we make the Champions League, then yeah, maybe I will change my mind a little bit on him. But for now, nah, I still want the guy out. I still think we can go and get better. Um, a lot of people try and tell me, yeah, but who's gonna want to come to Arsenal and manage Arsenal? They forget we are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Yeah. But let's not forget as well, we have one of the biggest parasites in charge of the football club as well, in Stan Kroenke. And he also needs to go. We see the other day that he took out an £120 million loan from the Bank of England. And what's that for? What is that for? If it's to keep the club running throughout COVID, then I can sort of understand why he has done it. But at the same time, I don't trust this guy. He's probably taking it out because he needs a new fucking ranch, or something like that. I don't trust the guy at all. And he's got no care for the football club whatsoever. So what can you do? What can you do? Devin says, what do you think about Rekik? Yeah, we obviously signed him. I think it was announced, was it today or yesterday? It was either today or yesterday. I can't remember now. It might have been this morning, actually. And actually, he's been an Arsenal player for about a week. And he's been playing or training with the under-23s. But again, that just goes to show, again, the Arsenal media team are absolutely shit. They're shocking. Every single one of us fans knew that we'd brought Rekik because we'd seen all the stories about him. And then 2 days or 3 days later, then Arsenal decide to announce him. It's like seriously, you know. I haven't actually seen this kid play at all. He's a young centre back, 19 years old. I've heard that Mertesacker, the academy manager, had something to do with the deal. Apparently, it's all media shit, isn't it? We say this with every single player that we sign. Oh, we've been watching him for a long time. We know that he's got great potential. Yeah, you said that about William Saliba. Where the fuck is he now? Out on loan, you know? Um, so again, it's a player for the future. It's not a player for now. And at the end of the day, yes, we need to invest in the future, but we also need players now. There's no question about it. He's not going to be part of the first team anytime soon by the looks of it. But it'll be interesting to see what he can do when he eventually gets an opportunity. Um, Relentless says we are losing a generation of fans. 100% we are. And this is all down to um, just mediocrity that's been accepted over the last 10 years. Mikel Arteta is not to blame for all of this shit that's going on. He has to take a massive part of the blame, because he's manager of the football club. And not only that, he's made a lot of questionable decisions. Um, and we was talking about man management earlier, but this isn't just Mikel Arteta. This is Mikel Arteta, Unai Emery, Arsene Wenger, you know, and the recruitment as well. Edu, whoever it was before him, Raul Sanelli, and you know, Mislintat. He was probably the only one who you can really say, okay, he did a half decent job. He brought in Martinelli, he brought in Guendouzi as well, and yeah, we didn't give him enough time at the football club because you know too much of a power struggle going on, and yeah, we're in a mess because of absolute mediocrity from the past 10 years, and it's just caught up with us. You know, it's just caught up with us, and you sort of look and you think, what an amazing job Arsene Wenger did. Um, you know, getting average, and I mean bang average players like Shamak and Andre Santos and all these players, um, in Champions League year in, year out. And, we've got arguably on paper a better squad now, and we're nowhere near it. And I understand that competition in the Premier League has got stronger and stuff like this, but, we've been out of the Champions League for, I think it's coming up for 5 years now. That's mad. That's mad for a club the size of Arsenal. It should never ever happen. But I don't know. I think we've got another season, maybe two, before we can even think about getting in the Champions League. If you look at where we finished last season in eighth, look at the teams that finished above us. They all strengthened better than us in the summer, um, and I can't see anything changing. I still think we'll sit here at the end of January, and we've either signed nobody or we've loaned one or two players, or like I said in previous streams, we tend to go a bit stupid with it and go and give 33-year-olds 3-year contracts. It's an absolute madness. Devin says they're still on lockdown in Los Angeles. Yeah, yeah, I see. I see all the scenes in America. Um, it's been on the news with about Trump's supporters and that. That's an absolute madness, man. I mean, you think you got protests and riots and stuff like that in England? Jesus Christ! I mean, that was an absolute madness. Yeah, but big up to you, Devin. You're always in the comment section. You're always supporting the channel, and I really do appreciate it. Same to you as well, Relentless. See you in the chat all the time. It's nice to see you two both taking time out of your day to come and watch me, and I really appreciate it. I really do. Um, Relentless says Arteta's man management is in the gutter. It is in the gutter. It's even so much as, like I was saying earlier, I like what I've seen in the last 3 games. But if we're being real, he was forced into them changes. Yeah, Willian was out ill or ill. Um, there's rumours that he was actually partying, and that's why he was yeah, he was not picked. Same for David Luiz as well. You know, he couldn't pick David Luiz because he was ill. He couldn't pick Gabriel because he was suspended. No, he had COVID. Um, you know, so he had no choice. He had to pick Smith Rowe. He had to pick Martinelli. Aubameyang was injured at the time as well. He had to pick Martinelli. You know, Saka has been our best player all season. He had to pick him. And it just goes to show, really, you play a number 10 in a number 10 role, all of a sudden, we've now got a link in the midfield between attack and defence. Yeah, somebody who can play that pass, somebody who picks up them little pockets of space in between midfield and attack. It's amazing, really, isn't it? You know, it don't take a rocket scientist to work out that if you play a number 10 in a number 10 role, we create more chances. Who would have known? But there you go. I've never meet Arteta. Maybe he's a nice guy, but he seems like a mug. Apparently, he's very arrogant. And well, we like arrogant managers here at Arsenal. Arsene Wenger was very arrogant as well. He's the type of guy who just thinks he's right all the time. And look, it's good in one way because it means that he won't take any, or he won't take a lot of shit from players. We've seen that with like Guendouzi and that. But at the same time, it's bad because he can quite easily lose the dressing room that way very, very, very quickly. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think he shoots himself in the foot a lot of the time because, like I said earlier, it's all right, you know, being stubborn and, you know, a bit of a fucking bastard to certain players. But when you're dashing out players like Guendouzi for his attitude problems, but then Granit Xhaka gets sent off, doesn't apologise to anybody. Yeah, maybe he apologised to Arteta behind closed doors, but he never apologised to his fans. He never apologised to his fans when he got sent off against Palace, you know, and threw the captain's armband on the floor. Yeah, Guendouzi does something that he should have probably been sent off for, and says something to the Mopay that he shouldn't have said, and all of a sudden he's dashed out of the club. But Granit Xhaka, he serves a 2-game suspension, and then the following week when he's back available for selection again, he's back in the starting 11. You know, Willian as well. He can make shit performance after shit performance after shit performance, and he would still start in this Arsenal team. And it's just, it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. But there you go. He is a bit of a mug. Let's be real. Relentless says, best and worst Arsenal game or memory you have. Mine is 5-2 versus the Scum and 8-2 at Old Trafford. Cool. I'm just trying to think what was worse. 8-2 at Old Trafford was bad. But if I remember rightly, we had a lot of injuries that game. And I think that was the first ever game that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain played for Arsenal as well. I can't remember what the starting 11 was in that game. I know Van Persie played, obviously. But aside from that, I think it was a bit of a weakened side. Didn't expect to lose 8-2, but there you go. I remember watching that one in the pub, funnily enough, with my dad, who's a Manchester United fan. yeah, I got some stick that day, 100%. But then I don't know. I think 8-2 or the 6-0 against Chelsea, because that was bad as well. And I think what makes that even worse was the fact that it was Arsene Wenger's 1000th game as manager. Um, and it was a bit of a short-lived celebration because we got absolutely slapped up. Um, Europa League final, that one was embarrassing as well. Even Aston Villa this season, 3-0, that was embarrassing. So yeah, there's been a few. There's been a lot of bad results, to be fair. The best result, let me think, that I can remember. Jesus, you got the 5-2 against Spurs. You've got you got the FA Cup final against Chelsea, not the season just gone, but in 2017. Chelsea just won the league. They was looking to do the double, and they were a very good side that year, and we was very poor. Um, the odds were stacked against us in that game. We was absolutely going into that game expecting to get battered. Um, and yeah, what a performance! We come out of it in the end with a trophy. Um, Trying to think, you know, um, there is a few, there is a few. There's not that many over recent years anyway. Um, just trying to think, Um, yeah, no, I'll have to come back to that one, I think, and have a little think. Um, you got me there a little bit. You got me there. But yeah, Relentless says, I hate living in the US. This country is in the mud. Yeah, yeah. Um, Whenever I see something on the news about the United States, it's never anything really positive. Let's put it that way. A lot of negativity in that country, certainly. But it is just as bad here in the UK at the moment, especially with this whole Corona shit going on. The fact that we're leaving the EU as well, and all that, it's mad. Um, George Graham won it in Europe, something Wenger could only dream of. Yeah, George Graham did win in Europe. He did. Arsene Wenger did come close. He did come very close. And really and truly, when I sort of sit back and think about it, we should have won that Champions League final. And I think if Jens Lehmann hadn't got sent off, we probably would. You know, um, even with 10 men, we went 1-0 up against Barca, and we lost it right near the end. Samuel Eto'o, fucking well lad. But yeah, yeah, that was our golden season really to win the Champions League. Funnily enough, there was one player who you would bet your house on, who would score goals in that competition. And he didn't really score that many, to be fair. Not what you'd expect anyway from Thierry Henry. He was very poor in that final as well, if I remember rightly. And funnily enough, I think it was either the season after that or maybe the season after that one, that he actually went on to join Barcelona and just mainly to go and win the Champions League. And yeah, of course he did that. Um, yeah, but what a player he was. Um, Relentless also says 6-0 at Stamford Bridge or 4-1 Europa League final. Yeah, I agree with them. Two results as well, 100%. So, guys, if you are watching, I would like you to let me know in the comment section what is your worst Arsenal 11 over the past 10 years, but you have to include 3 of the current members of the first team. And what is your best Arsenal 11 over the past 10 years? And again, you have to include 3 of the current first team players, minimum. You can include more, but you have to include 3. And I even found, getting 3 players in there to the best one was a struggle. Getting 3 players into the worst one, yeah, I didn't have any issues with that at all. So I'm going to run through mine, and I'm going to start with my worst 11 over the past 10 years at Arsenal. And goalkeeper, there's no question about this one. Manuel Almunia. He was an absolute donkey. Absolute donkey. Yeah, he was one of the poorest goalkeepers I've ever seen in an Arsenal shirt, ever. Although Runnison, Runnison could top him, he could top him if we give him any more game time. Hopefully we won't, because yeah, he looks like Manuel Almunia in the cut. It's like Manuel Almunia has gone away, had a bit of plastic surgery done, changed his name to Runnison, and come back a little bit shorter and a new man, because he looks like he's got the same ability. But there you go. So that's my goalkeeper. Let me know who your goalkeeper would be. Quickly, Relentless just says, if we had Patrick Vieira in the final, we would have won versus Barcelona. Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's no doubt about that. We did miss him in that game as well. But yeah, Sol Campbell scored the goal. I remember it now. Free kick, header. Yeah. And he had a blinder of a game, to be fair. And he was unlucky not to be on the winning side. But there you go. So yeah, Manuel Almunia in goal for the worst 11. At right back, Stefan Lichtsteiner, signing brought in by Unai Emery. A player who a lot of Arsenal fans, including myself, was saying, right, Bellerin, get out. You can go and sit on the bench. We've got a guy now who's very experienced. And yeah, he looks decent for his country, Switzerland. He looked all right at Juventus as well. So yeah, let's start playing this guy. And I remember as well, we got an injury in the first, I think it was the first game of the season or the second, and it was to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who was actually playing left back at the time, and yes, Lichtsteiner had to go and cover at left back, and he had a really, really good game. So everybody was calling for him to start right back over Bellerin, and yeah, it didn't work out. He was absolutely dog shit. And that game that he played at left back was the only good game that he ever played for Arsenal. Yeah, dog shit. No question about it. The next player I'm going to move on to is one of the players from the current Arsenal squad. So here's one of my 3, and I think a lot of you will agree. Shkodran Mustafi. Yeah, he had to be in there. There's no question about it. He had to be in there. £35 million from Valencia. Jesus, whoever brokered that deal needs to be shot. I'm not even joking. Um, he came in and he actually looked half decent to begin with. Then he got a bit of an injury, and everybody was calling for him to come back inside. Oh, we're defending crap because we're missing Mustafi. Mustafi's been excellent since he joined. Da 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 da. And he just hasn't been the same player ever since. He's just been Mustafi ever since. It's like for them first few months, um, it's like we had Maldini instead, um, and not Squadron Mustafi. But there you go. He's another player who's got to move on. He's got to move on. His contract's up at the end of the season anyway. He's already said that he's not signing a new one. Good, good. Um, ideally, I'd like for us to try and get him out in this window, but who's going to want to pay any money for him? Do you know what I mean? Shocker, absolute shocker. Next player, um, playing next to Mustafi in centre back, Sebastian Schillaci. Wow, what a player! What a player! Um, I don't know how. I don't know how he ever even became a professional footballer, because that guy's got the ability of a Sunday league player. Um, Absolute shocking. I remember when we signed him as well. I remember a bit of transfer news at the time. I lived with my mum and my stepdad come home and he said, "We just signed this player, centre back." I went, "Oh, all right. Any good?" He went, "No, I don't know. I've never heard of him. Sebastian Schillaci." I was like, "Not a clue." Um, but of course, you do what every kid does at the time, and you go on FIFA and check him out, see if you can find him, see what he's like. He weren't bad on FIFA, but fuck me, he was crap in real life. Um, yeah, one of the worst signings that Arsenal have ever made. Forget about the last 10 years, ever. Um, no doubt about it. Left back, Andre Santos. Um, yeah, again, this guy, absolute dog shit. He weren't bad going forward, but could he defend? Could he fuck? I don't even think he knew what the word defend meant. Um, I remember we played Chelsea, um, and at the time Chelsea, had a very good side, and we actually came back um, to go on to beat them. I think it was 5-3 in the end, and yeah, Andre Santos scored one of the goals. But that was about the only good game that he's ever had for Arsenal. And yeah, we knew straight away he was not good enough. But there you go, Arsene Wenger tried to get these players in on the cheap, and some of them worked, some of them didn't, and he was one that certainly did not work. Um, One of my three from the first 11. Guys, if you're just tuning in now, I'm just doing a best and a worst Arsenal 11 for the past 10 years. So players that have played at the club for the past 10 years. But you also have to include three of the current first team players in that 11. So three players from the first team in the best 11, three players from the first team in the worst 11. And we're just running through the worst 11 now. So far, I've gone with Manuel Almunia in goal, Sebastian, um, yeah, Stefan Lichtsteiner at right back, Mustafi He covers one of the places from the current first 11. Sebastian Scalacci, and of course Andre Santos. So that is my goalkeeper and back four. Midfield, Granit Xhaka. Like I said, you got to include 3 of the first team players, and I think he's got to be in there, definitely, no question about it. Again, he's not the worst Arsenal signing in midfield, but he's up there. He is up there. Again, £35 million paid for him at the same year where we could have brought N'Golo Kante, who had just well helped Leicester win the league, and Kante was an option, but we decided against it and we went with Granit Xhaka instead. Why? I'll never know. The guy's strange, because when I watch him play for Switzerland, he looks decent. He looks half decent. He does pick out a few 30-yard balls and stuff like that, but nah, he's not good enough. He's not good enough. He's got the turning circle of a ship. Yes, he'll play a few nice passes, like I just said, but the majority of his passes go either sideways or backwards. And aside from that, I just cannot see why this guy is still at Arsenal Football Club. I don't know what these managers see in him. I really don't. Because whatever he does in training, he does not fucking do it on the pitch. That is for sure. Next to him, Kim Kallstrom. Yeah, one of the most embarrassing signings for Arsenal Football Club in Arsenal's history. We actually signed this guy injured, and it wasn't just a small injury either. You know, he had a serious injury, and yeah, we signed him anyway on a loan, a 6-month loan, and he was injured for about 3 months of it. And when he did eventually get the chance to play for us, yeah, not great. Not the answer, certainly. And he did play, I think it was like an FA Cup game or something like that, and he scored in that. But yeah, embarrassing. What a waste of money. Um, the third guy in the midfield that I'm going to go for is this guy. Now, he only just makes it into my worst 11 because he actually left Arsenal in 2011. So that was 10 years ago now. So he just makes it in. But Abu Dhabi, he was actually not bad. He was probably the closest player, other than Thomas Partey, who we got now, to replicating what you would expect from, a Vieira replacement. But the guy was always injured, always on the sidelines, always got issues. He'd come back from an injury, and within 2 games, he was injured again, and again, and he just had a properly bad injury influxed career. And yeah, he spent more time on the treatment table than he did on the pitch, which is unfortunate, really, because I do think the guy had a little bit about him. I think if he was given the opportunity, and he didn't get injured so much, he could have been a half decent player. But mainly because of the injuries, he's got to go in that worst 11, no question about it. Moving on to we're going to go for the right wing. Denis Suarez, brought in on loan from Barcelona, I think it was. by Unai Emery. And again, this guy, we signed him. We thought, I wonder what he's going to be like. I didn't really know too much about him. He had a half decent loan spell at, I think it was Villarreal the season before. Um, and yeah, the last time we took a player from Barcelona, it was Alexis Sanchez. And, he did a very good job for Arsenal. And I suppose people were kind of hoping that this guy would do the same thing. But again, he's like a Kim Kallstrom. We signed him, and he was only ever 70% fit. I think he only ever made 3 or 4 appearances for Arsenal. Yeah, total waste of money. Um, left wing, Lucas Perez, signed from Deportivo La Coruña. Came off the back of a pretty decent season, to be fair. I think he finished third in the Golden Boot race, only behind Messi and Ronaldo. Scored, I think he scored about 17 goals for Deportivo in that season. And we went and splashed £17.5 million on him, hoping that he was the answer to our goal scoring issues. No, he wasn't. He really wasn't. Yeah, again, he didn't get that many appearances for Arsenal. He was not of the level um, that you would expect. And yeah, he was sold to West Ham. And yeah, he has to come into the worst 11 as well. And striker, it's got to be this guy. It's got to be this guy, Yaya Sanogo. He actually didn't have too much of a bad scoring record for Arsenal. I think he actually scored more goals for Arsenal in similar sort of appearances to Eddie Nketiah, funnily enough. But yeah, this guy was horrendous. He would trip over his own feet. He would scuff chances wide from 5, 6 yards out. Yeah, absolute horrendous player. And yeah, another one who needs to get in the bin. So there you go, guys. There's my worst Arsenal 11 over the past 10 years. Let me know what you guys reckon. So we've got a couple here. Igal is in the chat. Give me a sec, Igal, and I will get you on if I can. Just give me a second, guys. I might disappear. Hang on a second. Guests. Copy. There you go, Miguel. The link has been sent to you. Jump on, mate. Jump on. Miguel says, who was better, Winterburn or Lauren? Cool. I tell you what, right? I actually think Lauren is probably one of the most underrated Arsenal players. You know, he was very, very good. Very underrated as well. We've got Miguel here in the stream. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing well. Quick question, man. How did you become so affiliated with Arsenal, and what made you an Arsenal fan?
What made me an Arsenal fan?
Yeah.
So basically, right, when I was very, very young, my parents split up. Obviously, that meant that I ended up with a stepmom and a stepdad. And at the time, like I say, very, very young, I liked football, but I wasn't really that into football um, at 4 years old. And my old man, he's a Manchester United fan. He was always saying to me, "Oh, go on, boy, I'll get you a Manchester United shirt, and this, that, and the other." But my stepdad was a massive Arsenal fan, and he had all these, you know, old Arsenal shirts, signed shirts from like Ian Wright, David Rocastle, um, ornaments, and that all on the side. And he would always be watching Arsenal on telly or something to do with Arsenal. And yeah, I just fell in love with the way that Arsenal play. And not only that, it's nice to have a bit of banter with your old man as well, isn't it? So yeah. How about you, mate? How about you?
For me, it was family, and around like all my family around the world were Arsenal fans. And for me, '98 World Cup had a big influence on me when it comes to football, and France winning and watching France play, and that's the country I support for World Cup, and that affiliation to France helped me just get closer to Arsenal with the French connection and everybody, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, we've had some great French players over the years.
Yeah.
Vieira, Henry.
See,
There's so many to name, isn't there?
yeah. Who'd you
Um,
pick, Lauren or Winterburn?
sorry.
The comment that I put. Who'd you pick, Lauren or Winterburn?
Do you know, it's such a hard question because I think Lauren was very underrated at Arsenal. He was a very underrated player. Winterburn was excellent. Um,
His crossing.
so tough to choose between the two.
Winterburn's
Um,
crossing is as good or maybe even better than like Tierney.
mm, yeah, yeah, that was hands down the best part of his game. Um, I don't know. I really don't know. That's such a tough question. I mean, who would you go for?
For me, Winterburn it was great. Loran was an island of his own. Literally, that whole right hand side, the left side of their attack, you knew Loran had it covered. You didn't have to worry. Where Winterburn, honestly, I caught the back end of that, so I don't really know too well how he was because I remember him as a West Ham player. I remember him moving on from Arsenal. I don't remember '89. I wasn't born, so it's like I don't really know Winterburn too much. But from what I've seen from Lauren, what a player he was. And Winterburn too. I've actually spoken to him. He's a nice guy. Really, really loved Arsenal. I learned a lot about his story. I have to go. I have to go with Lauren, but Winterburn is close,
Yeah,
very close
yeah,
second.
I would probably agree with you there. I mean, when you think about that Arsenal invincible side, not a lot of people tend to mention Lauren. His job, what he did, was
He was
very
better than Gary
went
Neville.
really unnoticed. You know,
He was better than Gary Neville. It's just Gary Neville was on United and they won all the trophies.
mm,
If we won as many trophies, if we won three on the bounce, people would speak about Loren more than they did about Neville. It's because we didn't win that third trophy. Remember, Arsene Wenger was 2 points, 4 points off winning the title the second year. Then the next year he said, "You know what? We're gonna go invincible," and we
yeah,
did.
yeah, and everybody absolutely ridiculed him as well. They said, "Oh, you don't know what he's talking about. Maybe it's the language barrier." But yeah, no, yeah, it's mad. It is mad. We
Yeah,
was
man.
just talking about the worst Arsenal 11 in the past 10 years, but the rules are that you have to include three minimum of the current first team players. I'll run through who I went with, and I'll let you say what you think. So I went with Manuel Almunia in goal, Lichtsteiner at right back, Mustafi centre back, Schillaci centre back, Andre Santos left back, Granit Xhaka, um, and Kim Kallstrom in the midfield alongside Abu Diaby.
Disrespect.
Um, it's because of the injuries. It's because of the injuries. It's not because of the player himself, but because of the injuries. He spent more time on his on the treatment table than he did on the pitch. If we're being real, but I do think the guy had ability.
You
Honestly,
disrespected him, man.
it's so much. It's so
I'll give you a different person you could put in there.
Go on.
Instead of Abu Dhabi, put put Dennis Suarez.
Dennis Suarez is on the right wing. Left wing, we've gone with Lucas Perez,
Lucas
and
Perez
then
was good.
up front, we've gone with Yaya Sanogo.
Lucas Perez was good though. He just never
He was
played.
all right. He was all right. He just didn't get many opportunities, did he? And you know,
What about
we saw
Javinho?
Javinho. Yes, yes, I did miss out Javinho. I forgot about Javinho. You could also have the Nilsson in there as well.
What about the Park Chung Young guy? The Ruthless.
Yes, yeah. There's so many to name. It's bad, isn't it? You know.
Put up this guy's comment. I think I like his team, but I wouldn't have Kashani in it.
So Relentless says
Or De Nelson.
Runnison, Koscielny, Giroud,
Anderson.
Hector Bellerin, Jesus, Kolasinac, Xhaka, Denilson, Bischoff, and
Matt
Javinho,
Macy was worse
Pastillon.
than Runnerson.
Eh?
Matt Macy's worse than Runnerson.
Matt Macy. Who's worse? Who's worse? So out of Runnison and Almunia.
Almunia.
Yeah.
Almunia. You know what? Someone tried to tell me Almunia was better than Leno. They're absolutely on drugs. Twitter, you find some odd opinions. You know why they say unpopular opinions? Is because Twitter created that. It literally gets you tweets and retweets and likes. That's all it is. To me, unpopular opinion from that guy's list, Danny Welbeck shouldn't even be nowhere near that. He shouldn't sniff that list. Danny Welbeck was really good. And
Yeah.
Sonogo, that one's tough too.
But then who else would you put in there?
You know what? You're kind of right. But we have had strikers that I feel like Yaya Sonogo probably goes up there, yeah. It's definitely Yaya Sonogo. Scalacci, okay. I don't even know. I
What
just feel
about
like the Nelson should not touch that midfield though. He was decent.
what about William Gallas?
William Gallas was actually a good player for Chelsea. Arsenal, he cried, but we almost won the league that year.
Mikel Silvestre.
You almost said Mikel Arteta.
I nearly did, yeah.
Mikel Sylvester. I don't even know off the top of my head. Like I wouldn't be able to remember too many of his. Like I don't remember any good games, but I don't remember like stinkers.
Okay. Well, this one might be a little bit easier for you. We're going to do the best Arsenal 11 over the past 10 years, but once again, you have to include at least three current first team players.
That's easy.
So
You get Aubameyang. You put
we'll
him
start
on.
we'll start from the front. I've gone with Aubameyang, Sanchez, and Van Persie as my front three. Would you agree with that?
Van Persie's on the striker. Sanchez on the right, and Aubameyang on the left.
Yeah.
Okay. Midfield.
Midfield, I've gone with Fabregas in the 10, Cazorla, and Samir Nasri.
Okay, you see now I got a situation. Here's the problem. Where are we gonna put guys like Ozil? Does he get in the team?
Ozil would get on the bench.
Okay. Does Coquelin get into the team, or is that ridiculous?
Coquelin.
Yeah.
Nah.
If you're gonna do deep line midfielders, if you're gonna actually play a real DM, Coquelin's probably the only DM we had. Or is it too early to say Partey gets in?
Depends. If we're going on ability, then yeah, you'd probably say Partey over Coquelin, no question about it.
Okay, so here's my front three is going to be very similar. right? Nasri doesn't get into my team. I would go Fabregas, Santi, and Pate. Okay, as my midfield. Now, what's your defense?
Defense,
Let me
I've
guess.
gone
Right
with
back, you got Sagan. Sagan.
Samuel.
Sagan. Yeah. Left back, you got Nacho Monreal.
Um, no, because I had to include 3 first team players, so I've gone with Tierney.
Oh, you went Tierney. Okay. Gabriel.
What, centre back?
Center backs Kashoni and Per Saka.
Yep.
So Per
Koscielny.
Saka is one of them, and Kashoni. Oh, you got
Saka.
both of them. And then goalkeeper, did you go Chesney or Leno? Leno.
Oh, no.
Okay. So for me, Chesney was a better keeper than Leno.
Okay. Okay.
Right. I would have gone. I would have gone I would have gone Koscielny and Gabriel. So that's one of current players. I would go Tierney, Nacho, Nacho. I'll go Tierney, right? Midfield, I'm gonna go Thomas Partey, um, Santi Cazorla, and Fabregas. Okay, and then the front three, I'm going to go Alexis Sanchez, Aubameyang, and you know what? Van Persie. Yeah, it's the same. The front three. The only person who has a shout is Adebayo, but then he
Yes,
fucked it.
Adebayor. Yeah.
But then he fucked it up when he went to Spurs. So, and he scored 10 goals in North London derbies, and more of them for us, obviously. But he still scored against us with the North London derbies. So it's
Is
awkward.
there any other players that possibly get a shout? You know?
Nasri is a good shout. Um, Henri played. He came back. Remember? But
Yeah, he did come back for that one game against Leeds, didn't he?
yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't
that's
really
true.
count, though.
Andre Arshavin?
Oh, Shaban. No, but who does he get in over? Alexis Aubameyang.
That's the problem, isn't it? You know? Um, trying
We
to
really
think
had
of
some bad midfielders. We really had some bad
we
midfielders.
have had some real bad midfielders, to be fair.
Like it's so bad that we can't even think about an actual DM besides Coquelin. Oh, Song.
Yes, Alex Song, yes, he was
Oh,
very good as
what
well.
about Haleb? When did Haleb leave? Was it 2010?
When did he leave?
Haleb gets in for me over some of these guys in the midfield.
Uh, I don't know when Haleb left, you know? I know Abu Diaby only just gets into the side because he left Arsenal in 2011. He joined us in 2006 and he spent
No, Haleb
about
left
60.
earlier than that, right?
I think so. I think so.
I know Vieira left in like 2050, 2005, right?
Vieira, yeah. Henri left in 2007, the year after we got the final of the Champions League.
Lundberg went to West Ham,
Yeah. Pires went back to, was it
France.
Villarreal?
No, he went to Spain. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we became a feeder club.
Yeah, and we still are.
Look at all our best players. Alexis Sanchez, United. Man City got Sagan, um, Torre. They got friggin'
Clichy,
Clichy. They even
Nasri.
somehow got Vieira after a long time. They got Yaya Torre also,
Yeah,
who was
they ended up
Arsenal
with
academy player.
Nasri, Adebayor, sorry.
Do you believe we had Yaya Torre in our academy? Like what the hell?
I know, it's mad. It is mad.
Our academy could have been as good as United's academy if we held on to all our players, but we keep letting them go for stupidity. And we're going to
Can
do it
you
again with
imagine?
Balogun.
There was talks that at the time of us going and getting Fabregas that we was also after Messi as well. Can you imagine?
Imagine if we got Messi.
mate. And then also,
We
you know
probably would
when
have
Arsenal,
fucked it and sold him on a free back to
mm,
Barcelona.
probably, you know what we were like. Um, but then
You know
also
the
at the
worst
same
thing is,
time,
though? I gotta go, bro. But I'll tell you this. In my opinion, we better not mess up with this whole situation and just sell Eddie and Ketia. Hold on to Balogun. Get Balogun to sign a new contract. Give him 4 years, like 60 million, and just sit back and relax.
yeah, yeah. I don't think Kesh was trying to get kind of getting what I was trying to say earlier, which is, if the guy's not going to play football, then he's well within his rights to say, do you know what? I've got 6 months left on my contract. If Arsenal really want to keep me here, then they're going to have to offer me 100 grand a week, or play me. And at the end of the day, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We can afford to pay him that sort of wage, and we do pay average players that sort of wage anyway. So
Did you see what you did there? You're like either pay him £100 or play him.
play him.
You literally
I'd like to
you
see him
open
play.
your eyes so wide and move the camera closer. I don't know if you did it on purpose or you didn't realize.
No, I
Um,
do stuff without realising, mate. To be honest with you.
Special effects. But yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, man, we need to get more people to get to know your channel, man. You got some good thoughts. You talk from the heart. And you know what? Sometimes it's just good to do other stuff besides just watching the games and actually get a voice out there for people to hear you. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly.
But yeah, man, thanks for coming on earlier. I just wanted to come on, ask you a couple questions, and you know what I mean. It's pretty late at night. I'm about to watch my Raptors play tonight, so hopefully they do well. That's how it is supporting a team when you have to wake up late or watch a game late at night. Crazy. Imagine
What
for
got
all the
you?
Arsenal fans who wake up, stay up late watching games.
What got you into watching like the NBA and that?
I'm from Toronto, so I literally would when I was in university, I would skip class and I'd be like, I'm gonna pay $40 today to go to a game just for the fun of it. Now I miss those days. I wish I could do that.
Mm, yeah,
Imagine you when you're a kid growing up, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to Arsenal game today, probably just pay £30 to go in. That's how it is for you, right? For me,
mm,
that's how it was for going to Raptors games. When somebody comes into the city, like LeBron James comes in, I'm gonna have to pay $100 to get a ticket. I would just go and pay it. There would
yeah,
be times where I'd have tickets and I would give it to my friends. Because imagine me as a kid going to so many games that I was literally giving tickets away as an 18-year-old. That's how much it was.
yeah. That's mad.
I've
That's
seen
mad.
everyone. I've probably seen every major player play. I've seen Kobe. I've seen Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Reggie Miller, Jermaine O'Neal. I've never seen Shaq. I've seen Dwight Howard. Name an NBA player. I've probably seen them play because I've gone to so many
Oh
games.
God, I think you've just
KG,
gone through most of them. To be fair,
Paul Pierce, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. I've seen Stephen Curry actually, Klay Thompson, Draymond, um, James Harden. Did I say James Harden? I think I did. Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns. I've seen all these guys play. You know what I mean? It's just I've been to so many games. Like one season, I think I went to like 19 games. There's 42 home games. I went to 19,
mm,
and I
that's
paid for each ticket individually. I didn't have a season ticket.
Jesus. But then saying that, well, what's that? That's about three, four, about 500 quid, isn't it, for the year
What?
in total?
42 home games?
Oh, you went 42 home. I thought you said 19.
No, I went to 19.
Yeah, so that's about £540, something like that. I don't know. My maths isn't that great.
Do 10 times. It would be like 800.
What is it? £30 a game?
Be like four. It would be like $40. Like £40, so it'd be like 800.
£40, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you're probably right.
800 Canadian, so that's like £400.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking up because I'm thinking. I'm like,
I didn't know if you got into the NBA because Arsenal were depressing you so much. Because I
Nah,
was
bro.
thinking about doing the same thing.
I've been watching. Let me show you something. I'm gonna show you something you might be interested in. 1 second. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up my Instagram, and you're gonna be shocked. I think I've shown you this before. So if you go on my Instagram, you can see that I literally have like a picture of me from 2006 on a Raptors ticket that was taken the year before. So I was literally, imagine Arsenal home game tickets. Instead of putting a Bamiyang, they put you.
Yeah, that's a madness. That yeah.
Because they got such a nice photo of me that they ended up doing this. Look at this. I sent it. I shared screened it. Check it out. That's cool, right?
Oh yeah.
2006. You know how much that ticket cost?
How
At that
much?
time, that was $206.30 for second row, seat 15th, section 107. So I'm literally sitting 8 rows away from the court.
It's mad.
Yeah.
God, you look young there. How old was you there?
14? Yeah, 14.
Man,
Crazy, right?
yeah, yeah, that is mad.
Yeah. Anyways,
Maybe I might get into the NBA myself.
if depends, what do you want? Do you want someone who's going to stress you out or not? No stress at all? Because the NBA is always the team that's the worst gets the best prospect. So if you're the worst team, your reward is Mbappe. If you're the best team, you're rewarded with I would say Mohamed Al Neni as a prospect,
Um,
and then the
okay.
rest is down to your recruitment.
Mm,
So you get the worst picks of the litter. So you say, for example, Liverpool won the league. They're going to be given the worst academy prospects. The team that got relegated would be getting the best academy prospects. That's how it works. But yeah, this is a Q&A show about football, and I took over. I'm sorry.
that's all right. That's all right, mate. That's all right. Um,
Honestly, I just wanted to come on now because I don't know if I'll be able to come on tomorrow during the daytime.
right. Okay. Okay.
But just let me
Um,
know what you're doing.
yeah. Are we doing a match reaction
Yeah, yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to come on the watch along, you know what I am.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm doing. But yeah,
Jesus.
big up to you, bro. Appreciate it having me on. It's always like coming on, and you know what? Speak to you soon, man.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on, mate. Cheers.
Peace.
So there we go. Exclusive there from Egal. Um, been watching the NBA for a long time, not just because Arsenal's stressing him out. And relentless, man. Relentless. Your name, yeah, your name is pretty much spot on. You are relentless. You have been relentless in this chat, and I appreciate that, man. Big up to you. We're going to have to get you on for a show. No question about it. I will get that sorted out. No problem. Nasri, yeah, Nasri, you know, he was looking like a decent player for us until he went and fucked it up by being a pagan and joining Manchester City. But there you go. Koscielny, if you can tell me another centre back that is better in their prime days over the past 10 years, then maybe I'll take Koscielny out there. But for now, Koscielny stays in for me. Um, Alex Song is a G. I spoke to him before. Have you, man? Oh, that's you know, I'd love to be able to speak to some of these players. Probably not the ones that are in the current starting 11 because I'd tell them all they're all a bunch of wankers. But there you go. Um, Relentless also knows his stuff about NBA. By the looks of it, he says Lakers all day. Raptors are arse this year. He's from You're from New York, but a Lakers fan since 2009. Says Brandon, come support the Lakers, bro. Um, and yeah, big up to you, man. Big up to you. Um, I'll look into it. I'll look into it and see which one takes me fancy. But yeah, maybe. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you very much. Like I said um, before, me and Miguel, we will be doing a match reaction um, to tomorrow's game when it is all done. Hopefully, it'll be another easy win for Arsenal, and hopefully we'll be going through to the next round. So therefore, happy reaction, but you just never know with this football club, unfortunately. And yeah, I'd like to see a couple of players get an opportunity tomorrow. Whether we will see that or not, who knows? And also, I might even do a starting 11 reaction for you as well. So look out for that. Look out for the match reaction. Um, we're going to do a match reaction on Agal's channel, and I'll probably do one here as well. Even if Agal can't jump onto this one, I'll do one on here for you guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for sending in your comments and your questions, and yeah, let me know your thoughts. Mainly, my guy Relentless. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. I appreciate it, and I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Cheers, guys.